Hi, my name is Melissa Alds, and I want to tell you a little bit about something that I call social media currency. So one of the things that I get asked about the most is how I get such great response to my social media, whether it's the groups that I run or my page or my personal Facebook. I sell a lot through Facebook. I sponsor constantly through Facebook, and apparently it's not always quite that easy for everybody. I didn't realize that for a long time until I kept getting all these questions about it. So I was guiding some of my girls through the process of how they would be launched. And one of the girls was asking me, okay, so we have my party set up. Now, in the meantime, what do I do as far as posting on Facebook and stirring up interest? Because I have my team not come out and announce they're selling anything. Their launch, they approach from the position of a hostess. It just makes it a lot easier for them to invite without hesitation, and it makes it easier for their friends and family to respond because you're not on guard in the same way when your friend's having a party and you want to help them get some free stuff, as opposed to, hey, look, I'm selling this product now, and your friends respond differently because they're like, oh, now I feel obligated to buy and I don't want to go. So I find we get around that very easily by my team doesn't sign up until right before their party. And this way they're approaching it from a position of having discovered this amazing lipstick and raving about it and doing reviews on it and stirring up interest in a consumer or girlfriend to girlfriend manner instead of a, hey, look, I'm selling this now, pay attention to me kind of way. So understand that's the context of this. And one of my girls asked me, so my party's like a week away, 2 weeks away, what do I do in the meantime? And so I went and I looked at her page and I was realizing that it looks very different from mine, and that piqued my interest, and I started jumping around from page to page and looking at different people, some of whom are really successful on social media and others who get a lot less engagement. And some things that I already knew but hadn't really thought about started to come together, and it made me look at why I and others will experience such success on social media, and then I have other people who really struggle. So the best way to explain it is like currency. You have a certain amount of social media currency that you can spend with your circle. And this will vary between your personal page and your group. You have to approach them a little bit differently, or your page, depending on what it is. I have my people have a group because of different algorithms in Facebook. They can be a lot more successful with the group than they can with the page, but it's totally personal preference. But when it comes to your personal Facebook profile, you have a certain amount of friends. And your friends will see your posts depending on how much you guys interact with each other on Facebook regularly. It affects the algorithm that Facebook uses to determine who's in whose feeds and how often. Now, all of this can be overridden. If a person wants to see every single thing you post, they can go and they can select that. Most people don't do that, but we all know about the hide feature, right? They can also hide you. You want to avoid this, of course. You don't want to be that person that is getting hidden by everybody, and so you don't know why nobody's seeing your posts. You can avoid this by spending your social media very wisely. So here are some things to avoid. I know I hate to start out with something negative, but this is what I see the most. This is what affects your social media standing at least 60%. You need to make sure that what you're posting is, first of all, it should not, on your personal page, it should not be all about lip sense. That should be a part of your profile and not like the main focus. Everybody has hidden that person in direct sales, that's the only thing they do on their social media. It just doesn't work. The other thing you need to look at is how much post engagement are you getting? When you post something, are people liking it? Are they commenting on it? When you share something, are they resharing it? Are they liking it? Are they commenting on it? If you are regularly sharing or posting memes, inspirational quotes, news articles, any kind of controversial topics, anything like that, and you're getting crickets, you need to stop. Okay, I know that you may be like, well, that's what I like. You know what? If you don't want to have people see your other posts, then you go ahead and keep posting that. But if you want people to see your posts, you need to make sure that what you're posting is considered of value to them. We engage with social media on a value-based system, whether you realize it or not. It's all based on what you care about, what adds value to your life. So for me, I like to hear about my friends' families. I like to see pictures of their kids. I love recipes and like pictures or like those cute little mini videos that have like really yummy things like sped up and made. I like, sometimes I like blogs. I think a lot of people are really over the whole posting of blogs that are addressing certain topics. Save those, like, you know, for when something's really important to you. Reposting things that reoccur daily, like you subscribe to a page that gives you a daily something and then you're constantly reposting that. I would be really surprised if you're getting a lot of post engagement on that, because if people wanted that, they would go and follow that page. Does that make sense? There are things that you could repost that people will love. It just depends on your circle. In my circle, I've got a girlfriend and she's always reposting cute animal things. And she has 50 or 60 likes because the stuff that she reposts is always super cute and super funny. And we all love it. So she's getting high post engagement. So her posts are showing up in more people's feeds. When you post something and nothing happens, then that gets factored into the algorithm of how often you show up in people's feeds. I hope this is making sense. So you need to make sure you are spending your posts. You like that? Like, you are spending your posts wisely. It should be about the things that you see your circle responding to. If you're a person who is really involved in politics and people follow you because they want to hear your opinions and expressions, then reposting political or current events, that's spending it wisely, because that's what your circle is there to see. If you are a mom and your circle is following you for pictures of your family, they're your friends, they're your relatives, they want to engage with you on a personal level, then posting or reposting constant current events, news articles, if you're not seeing any post engagement, that's because that adds no value to your circle. It's all dependent upon that. I wish there was just a formula I could give you. And I've seen people give out formulas. You should have this many posts of this kind and this many posts of this kind and this many posts of this kind. It's just that it's so dependent upon who you're friends with and who's actually following you already, that to me, I don't think that that actually helps you that much. You can follow formulas like that and still get nowhere. You have to understand why people see your things. You have to understand why people are interacting and like the foundations of what's affecting your social media, so that you can individually determine how you can improve it. So let's talk about if you are listening to this and you're thinking, nobody ever interacts with any of my stuff, I don't think anybody's seeing it, what can I do to change that? Good news, it's not hard. It just takes you doing more than just going to your own page and like posting your own stuff. You need to scroll through your feed. You need to interact with other people about what they've posted. Now be sincere. Don't like things you don't like. Just take some time to go through. Be very positive. Don't get involved in internet debates. Honestly, that's just noise. And you always need to understand the difference between expressing yourself and being relevant on social media and making more noise. Don't just make noise online. You want to be always having value come from what you post, whether it's a thought or where you're going or what you're doing. If you're checking in somewhere, try to include a photo. Look for your friends' posts that you can just say something small but relevant to it. When you are regularly interacting with other people online, then, I'm sorry, not just online, but on Facebook, you are showing up for them more often, and then they are going to show up for you more often. It creates this whole cycle. Have you ever noticed how all of a sudden you haven't seen anything from so-and-so in forever, and you go to their page thinking maybe they're not on Facebook, and they totally have been completely active and you haven't seen one thing from it? It's because your post interactions drifted apart long enough until Facebook decided that you guys didn't really need to see each other's stuff anymore. But you can change that just by interacting with people. I don't recommend that you go and start posting about lip syncs or Senegents to people randomly. That is really annoying. Don't do it. Facebook messaging people out of the blue will get you hidden. There's just a way to conduct yourself online that will really boost your reach. And it comes from taking a sincere interest in other people's lives. It comes from taking the time to invest in them and create online dialogue that it doesn't take a lot of time. It just takes consistency, and then making sure that what you're posting is going to elicit what we call in social media impressions or feedback from other people in some way. If you can do some things like that, you're going to see a much better rate of return for your social media investment, and instead of constantly spending social media currency that you don't have anymore because people have hidden you or clicked away, or they're just not interested. So I hope this is helpful. I know it's more theoretical than giving you concrete, do this and do this and do this and then you'll get that, but hopefully understanding how it works will actually be more beneficial to you in the long run. Can you hear my kids? Aren't they cute?